working mic. Hello, this is Aluna ASMR. And this sounds pretty good. So today we're gonna do something a little bit different. I've only been doing this for 2 days, but still. My stool is creaky. I have, a box of crayons here. Now the crayons already have names, but I want to see if I can try and rename some of them. Yep, that's not too loud. Most of them are organized by color already, so we should just be able to go in rainbow order, generally. I'm really hoping none of this is too loud. Okay, we have our first box of crayons right here. Generally red. It's not perfectly organized, but who has time for that? Not me, renaming 96 different crayons. I'm hoping this goes smoothly so I don't have to, edit or cut anything too much. We're just gonna go ahead and look at the first crayon. The sounds in there. I know unintentional ASMR is the best, and here I am. Intentional ASMR. This whole video is technically intentional though. We have this color right here. It's gonna be a little bit hard to see in the dark, but we're gonna try our best. I'm not gonna look at the name, I'm gonna look at the crayon first, and then think about what I want to name it. It's kind of like a maroon, but with some purple tints in it, so I'm gonna say this is gonna be... I just realized how indecisive I am, so this is gonna be tricky, so I'm just gonna say the first thing that comes to mind. We're gonna be uncreative and we're gonna call it pink maroon. It's actually called brick red. Ooh, I love brick red. That's nice. Okay, our next crayon. It looks exactly the same. It looks the same. That's okay. It is a bit lighter, a bit more pink. So we're gonna say that this is going to be girly brick, because it looks like the brick red, but it's just pinker. This is girly brick. This is silly. It's actually called red. What? Why is it? Okay. I thought it was more pink than that, but I guess it's just red. Next crayon is... Okay, this is actually pink. This is actually a pinkish red. I love pinkish reds. This kind of reminds me of, the crayon that you would use to color in a pig. Not necessarily the color of a pig, but it reminds me of the crayon you would use for it, so we're gonna go ahead and say that this is, crayon pig. It's actually called salmon. That's your salmon for you. Really thought salmon would be more like red or orange, but I digress. Next crayon. I just looked at the name. This is Radical Red. Radical Red has a really bright color when you color it on paper, but judging from what I'm seeing right now, which is hard because it's dark, we're gonna call it bright red. I know, these are really creative names. We have a new color. Ooh, we're finally getting into some oranges. I want to call this grapefruit. No. Juicy grapefruit. It's actually called Mango Tango. That's pretty close. Okay, next one. It looks the exact same, but that's okay. We're gonna keep going through the fruits. I think this looks pretty carroty, so we're gonna call this diced carrot, because why not? It's actually called red orange. Next one. Getting more into the classic oranges. This one for me is going to be tangerine peel because it reminds me of a tangerine. It's actually called neon carrot. Oh, this is the carrot one, but neon. A little bit hard to take out. This one. It looks a bit more like an orangey pink, I would say. Why am I saying pink? That doesn't look like pink. We're gonna say that this is gonna be orange sunset. Why not? It's actually called melon. I love melon. It actually looks pinker than that when it's drawn on paper. Okay, we're getting into more of the dark purple reds again. Oh, that's just purple. Never mind. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna call this. What's purple? It's not quite an eggplant purple. So we're gonna say not eggplant. It's actually called magenta. Next one. That just looks like red. We're gonna call this. What does this remind me of? We're gonna say woodblock red. Something about the red reminds me of those like wood blocks that you would find at like a daycare or in some like baby room. This is violet red. Next one. Ooh, we're getting some dark red here. This immediately reminds me of the lipsticks I try to go for whenever I'm going to a nice event or graduation or something. So we're gonna call it lipstick red. It's actually called maroon. Next one. This literally looks the same as two other ones that we already saw, but nonetheless, it's like a little bit pinkish. We're gonna call this red tile roof. It's actually called wild strawberry. I think I scraped the mic, sorry. Here's the next one. It's just kind of reminds me of the strawberry one, but darker. So we're gonna call this super ripe strawberry. It's actually called razzmatazz. Interesting name. Next one. This is kind of a bright looking pink, so we're gonna call this. What else is pink? Neon cherry. Why not? This is actually called wild watermelon. Okay, next one. Oh, that's orange. I like that. That's nice. Realizing I like orange a lot more than I realized. We're gonna go ahead and call this. I can't think of anything else that's orange. Let's just call it wild carrot. Why not? We'll follow the theme of the other crayons. It's actually called outrageous orange. So I gotta start using some more adjectives to describe my crayon colors. Next one. That's nice. Reminds me of the grapefruit one. But we're gonna name this one. We're just gonna name this one red orange. It's actually called scarlet. That's it for the majority of the reds. We're gonna put this down. Make it a little bit easier to grab the other ones. We're gonna go to the oranges and yellows now. My orange and yellow box has some greens in it as well, so we'll just go through the orange and yellow ones, and then we'll start delving into the greens a little bit. So, our first one here, if I can grab it. Oh no. is this one. This reminds me a bit more of the crayons you would use to color skin tone. I would usually go for the peach one, even though my skin was darker than that one, but nonetheless. This is like an orangey one, so we'll say that this is, what is it called when people tan themselves but they look orange doing it? We're just gonna call it orange tan. Orange tan. It's actually called macaroni and cheese. I think macaroni and cheese is a much better name than orange tan. Next one. Okay, I'm running out of ideas for the oranges. I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna call it orange glow. Orange glow. It's actually called vivid tangerine. That's nice. Next one. This one. Now this reminds me more of the peach skin tone. So we're gonna call this peach skin tone. It's actually called yellow orange. Started pretending to color on the camera because I realized I actually really like that trigger, so we're gonna do it a little bit more. Next one is right here. We are gonna call this one, we're gonna call this golden macaroni. It's actually called atomic tangerine. Interesting. Let's go to the bottom row. Next one. Literally looks the same, but that's okay. We're gonna keep going and we're gonna call this golden cheese. It's actually called orange. Oh, this is the orange crayon, in case you were thinking of that. Next one. Okay, this has gotta be the peach crayon. No, wait, it's too yellow. We're gonna say this one's yellow. It's actually called Sun Glow. I love Sun Glow. Yes, I have used and tested all of my crayons, in case you were wondering. That's why I have opinions on some of these crayons. Next crayon. Ooh, I like that. This is gonna be Sunshine Yellow. I really like this. Let's see what it's actually called. Unmellow Yellow. I actually don't have very strong opinions on Unmellow Yellow. It doesn't look like what you'd think it looks like. Next one. Oh, this has got to be the peach crayon. We're gonna call this skin tone in the 2000s. This is what I used, and this is what like 90% of the kids use. It's like if you didn't use it, it's like, well, there's no options, which was terrible. I actually do have the crayon box with the like Colors of the World, I think it's called. It's really nice. I've also tested those crayons. This is actually called apricot. I think this was the crayon. This was the color. I thought it was called peach, but I might be wrong. Maybe it was actually apricot. It was one of those fruits. I don't know. Okay. Next one. I don't like that. It has like a green tint. I don't like green to my yellows. I like green. I like yellow. I don't like greenish yellows. We're gonna call this... It's not quite an olive green. We're just gonna call it green yellow. It's actually called goldenrod. Oh, I actually like goldenrod. Looks kind of green right now. Okay, we have about 2 more yellow crayons, and then we're gonna go on to the greens. Next one. That is like a pale yellow. Pale yellow. It's actually called laser lemon. It's very neon when you color on it on paper. Next one. Here's this one. We're gonna call this sour lemon. I'm gonna call it sour lemon. It's actually called Yellow. Oh, this is the yellow one. Now we can move on to the greens. Here's the next one. This has gotta be yellow green, but I'm not gonna call it yellow green because I already named one yellow green. So we're gonna call this lemon lime. Lemon lime. It's actually called green yellow. This is the green yellow one. Okay. My second guess was right. Next one. I'm gonna call this one kumquat. I don't know if kumquats actually have that color. I haven't looked at a kumquat in a very long time, but we're gonna call it kumquat. Just feels right. It's actually called inchworm. I really like the inchworm one. Next one. This is definitely asparagus. Not saying that there is a crayon named asparagus, but I look at this and I think of asparagus. It's actually called spring green, so close enough. Next one. We're gonna call this one broccoli. But to spice it up, we're gonna call it broccoli dinner. Because why not? This is electric lime. Really? Take a look at that. Is that electric lime? Do you think that looks like electric lime? I don't think that's very electric. I see the lime. I don't see the electric lime. Next one. Oh, that is a vegetable green. So we're gonna call this vegetable medley. It's actually called olive green. Would have thought olive green would have looked a little bit different, but I guess not. That is it for this box. I'm gonna move on to the next one. Oh, did I skip one? I thought that was the pink. Oh well, we'll get to it later. Let's get to our greens and blues. So this is what it looks like. Greens and blues. I'm gonna go to the greens and then I'm gonna go to the blues, obviously. So our first one, it's all jumbled up. I'm gonna try my best. This is our first one in this box. It reminds me of seafoam green, so we're gonna call it seafoam green. It's actually called sea green. I think that's the closest I've gotten with something so far. Very nice. Get in there. Our next one is this. I'm gonna call this one spring green. I know we already had a spring green crayon, but this looks like this could be called spring green. It's actually called yellow green. Oh, there's a green, yellow, and yellow green apparently. I'm silly. Our next one is this one. Tiny bit darker. We're gonna call this one Spring Forest. This is Granny Smith apple. I remember like Granny Smith apple. I think that's a good one. Let's see. Next one is this one. See how that looks? We're gonna call this one Mossy Lake Green. Because why not? It's actually called Screamin' Green. Good color for October. Screamin' Green. You wanna scream during Halloween? Why not? Next one. Right here. Ooh, that's dark. It's dull. This is definitely like a swampy green. Still full of life, but much darker and murkier. So this is gonna be, actually we're gonna call it, no, it's gonna be swamp green. This is actually called, oh, this is asparagus. This one is asparagus. Good to know. Next one. Right here. We're gonna call this one summer green. It's actually called forest green. Very nice. I'm losing track of my greens. They're all mixed up in the box. Oh no. Okay. Pull these out. We might not get to 96 because I'm already mixed up, but that's okay. Let's look at this one. A little bit of a blue tint in there now. Take a look. Take a look. We're gonna call this one jungle green. But it's actually... it's called jungle green. The camera won't focus, but I promise you it says jungle green. Read it and weep. Now we have this one. It's nice and dark. We're gonna call this one pine forest. Pine forest. It's actually called pine. You can't make this up. This is pine. It's pine green. You can't read it, but I basically got 2 in a row. That is insane. I'm so smart. I promise you, I didn't even read those names. But now that I'm saying that, it sounds like I did, and I'm trying to overcompensate, but I promise I did not know. We're gonna start going into the blues. I think there was like 2 or 3 other greens that I missed, but I mixed them up and I can't keep track. So we have this one. I accidentally looked at the name. I looked at the name on accident, but we're gonna call this crystal blue. It's actually called blue green. Next one. Oh, that's nice. We're gonna call this one freshwater. Looks very quenchable. No, we're actually gonna call this quenching. Looks like it would quench my thirst. It's actually called sky blue. Ooh. Next one. I looked at the name by accident. I really like this one though. We're gonna call this one we're gonna call this one cornflower. Why not cornflower? It's actually called robin's egg blue. Not robin egg blue, but robin's egg blue. Next one. We're gonna call this one river edge. It's actually called turquoise blue. The last one of this box, as far as I know. This one right here. A little bit murkier. We're gonna call this uncleaned pool. It's actually called wild blue yonder. This is actually a pretty good one. Okay. That is it for this box. What's next? We have 3 more boxes left. We're gonna go ahead and finish up the blues. There's a lot of blues. This one also has purples in it. Take a look there. Okay, let's keep going. Next one. Ooh, that's nice. We're gonna call this one Wild Ocean. It's actually called Cerulean. Next one. Ooh, I want to name this one Cornflower, but I can't. So we're gonna call it we're gonna call it, oh gosh, I don't know. Think, 3, 2, 1. Beach water. Why not? I wouldn't call this beach water, but I couldn't think of anything. It's actually called cornflower. This is the cornflower one. See? It's cornflower. Next one. A little bit duller. We're gonna call this blue steel. It's actually actually called Cadet Blue. Cadet Blue. Next one. That's a nice blue. I think this one's blue. I'm gonna call it blue. I'm gonna call it Original Blue. Spice it up a little bit. It's actually called Indigo. Ooh. Not quite. Next one. Okay, I already named the other one blue, so I can't call this one blue, but I don't think it's blue. We're gonna call this one Deep Water Voyage. Deep Water Voyage. Take a look. Deep Water Voyage. It's actually called Pacific Blue. It's pretty similar, concept-wise. Next one. Half of these are going to be named after the ocean. I'm just going to say that now. This is going to be... we're going to call this... Late Night Blue. It's actually called Denim. Never would have guessed. Next one. Oh, this one has a sticky on it. I think because I broke it. But here's this one. We're gonna call this blue t-shirt. Why not? It's actually called Bluetiful. Very cute. Did I ever do this one? Oh, I have not. Here's this one. I probably would have named this one like something else after ocean. Like Atlantic Ocean or something, but this is actually blue. It's blue. Next one. I'm running out of ideas, but that's okay. We're gonna call this Blue Jay. It's actually called Navy Blue. Next one. This one right here. We're gonna call this one Overalls. It's actually called Midnight Blue. Next one. This one doesn't have the wrapping on it for some reason, so I can't say what the real name is. I'm pretty sure this is my periwinkle one, so we're gonna call it periwinkle. Next one. Ooh, we're in purples now. I think this is violet. Taking a look at it now, I think it's violet. The name is actually Blue Violet. Really close. Really close. Okay, if that's Blue Violet, then this has to be violet. But we can't call it violet because I called the other one violet, so we're gonna call this Almost Eggplant. Almost Eggplant. It's actually called Royal Purple. I think I remember liking Royal Purple. Next one. That's nice. We're gonna call this Mashed Up Blueberry. It's actually called Wisteria. Ooh, I think I remember liking Wisteria. It's not as dull as the crayon makes it look. Okay, last one of the box is this one. Looks very nice. I'm gonna call this one Actual Eggplant, otherwise known as Original Eggplant. It's actually called Plum. So that's it for this box. That was a good box. I liked that one. We have two more boxes. One of them looks like it's the pinks and purples. The other one looks miscellaneous. So we're gonna go to the pinks and purples first. Oh, there's a brown in there. Didn't realize that. Okay, let's see. Let's take a look. Our first one is this one. Looks like it has a little bit of blue in there, so we are going to call this very blue purple. I know, not very creative. I'm doing these on the spot. Keep up. This is actually called violet, so this is our violet purple crayon. Very nice, good to know. Next one is this one. I don't know what it is, but I like it. We're gonna call this girly pop purple. It's actually called orchid. Next one, right here. We're gonna call this one wild berry juice. It's actually called purple pizzazz. Moving along, we have this next one that looks quenchable. We're gonna call this Welch's grape juice. Welch's grape juice, take a look at that. Quenchable. It's actually called fuchsia. Fuchsia does not sound like it'd be a quenchable color, and yet here we are. Next one. It's a little bit redder than the last one. We're gonna say that this is pomegranate blueberry juice. I'm just thinking of juices. It's actually called red violet. Makes sense. It is red and it is violet. It's a mix. Next one. Right here. Next one. Same, just a little bit more red than the last. We are gonna call this what can we call this? What can we call you? Lipstick number 3. Why not? It is actually called cerise. Is that how you say it? Cerise. C-E-R-I-S-E. Cerise. Maybe. Next one. I don't know what a mulberry looks like, but it's reminding me of that word, so we're going to say mulberry. It's actually called lavender. Apparently this is lavender. Next one. It's nice, it's nice. We're going to call this one I know it's called this one. It's tricky. All I can think of is juice, but I've already named so many after juices. So we're instead gonna say that this is tricky. Because it's a purple red. So we're just gonna say this is reddish violet. Why not? Ooh, I like the name. It's Jazzberry Jam. Next one. Get in there. My crayons are getting crazy. Here it is. That's neon. This has got to be like neon pink or something. Let's check. Razzle Dazzle Rose. That sounds nice. I'm sure I've tried it out, but I don't remember what it looks like. Next one. Now that is a pink. That is a cute pink. We're just gonna call this Baby Girl's Room. Not necessarily a baby girl, but if you call someone baby girl, this is their room. And this is actually Carnation Pink. So good name. Next one. We're gonna call this Boss Girl Pink. Why not? It's actually called Hot Magenta, but it is now Boss Girl Pink. Look at this I say neon pink already? I might have, but we're gonna call this one neon pink. It's actually called shocking pink. Oh, that's close. Next one. Oh, I like that. I like that. We are gonna call this cat nose pink. Why not? It's actually called tickle me pink. Next one. Ooh. I do like it. Brownish purple, maybe. We are gonna call this hot lady lipstick. It's actually called marvelous. Like mauve, but marvelous. Marvelous. It sounded like I said that with an accent. Next one. Right here. It's a nice brown. Oh, I think this is Fuzzy Wuzzy brown. Because I love Fuzzy Wuzzy brown. And this looks like Fuzzy Wuzzy brown. It is actually called... It's chestnut. This is not Fuzzy Wuzzy brown. It's chestnut. Last one of the box. Okay, this might be a Fuzzy Wuzzy brown. I thought it was darker than that, though. I don't think this is Fuzzy Wuzzy, and I can't see it's Fuzzy Wuzzy because the last one I said was Fuzzy Wuzzy. So we're gonna say that this is Puppy Brown. Not saying that there is a Puppy Brown, but I'm naming it Puppy Brown now. It's actually burnt sienna. Look at that. It's burnt sienna. That was the last one of this box. Take a look. This is our second to last box. Now we can get to our last box of just miscellaneous colors that I haven't found spots for yet. So, here we go. As you can see, there actually is a little bit of organization. It's just like browns and then your blacks, grays, whites. So, we're gonna go through this. First one. Okay, this has gotta be Fuzzy Wuzzy brown. I swear. But I can't name it that, so we're gonna say it's Fuzzy Wuzzy brown too. It is actually, it's bittersweet. Okay, I'm wrong again. This is not Fuzzy Wuzzy brown too. It's bittersweet. I feel bittersweet saying that. Haha, pun intended. Next one. This reminds me of the color that they would use to explain in a lot of books describing a girl with mousy brown hair. So we're gonna say this is mousy brown hair. It's actually called brown. Next one. I think I scraped the mic again, I'm sorry. It's nice. We're gonna say this is super milk chocolate. It's actually tan. Next one. This might be Fuzzy Wuzzy brown. Still trying to find it. But we're gonna say that this is milk chocolate with hints of raspberry. It's actually mahogany. Next one. We're gonna say this is milk and chai. It's actually called peach. This is the peach crayon. I don't think I used this when I was a kid, though. I must have used apricot when I was a kid. I was wrong. Okay, next one. If I can grab it. Right here. We are gonna go ahead and we're gonna call this wilted leaf. It is actually called raw sienna. Next one. It's gonna be wilted leaf too. It is actually called tumbleweed. Next one. Right here. This is gonna be wilted leaf 3. actually called sepia. Next one. It's like a gold mixed with brown, so we're gonna call this gold. No, we're gonna call this King Midas bathroom. It's actually called gold. So I was right before I corrected myself. Next one. I'm gonna take a stab and I'm gonna say this is bronze. It doesn't really look like bronze, but I'm gonna say it's bronze. I think it might be bronze. It's actually called copper. We're getting down to it. We're almost there. Almost done. Next one. This is like a, not quite a charcoal gray, but a regular gray. We're gonna say that we're gonna call this pencil gray. It's actually called gray. Next one. This is gonna be silver. We're gonna call it silver, but it's actually called silver. Good job, me. Next one. Next one, we're gonna call it tin. Tin, but it's actually called timber wolf. We have 2 more to go before we're done. Next one. This has got to be black, but we're gonna spice it up and we're gonna say that this is a space night. Space night. It's actually called black. Last one. The tip is a little bit messed up, but there we go. You can go ahead and guess what crayon color this is. You can guess. You can guess. You can guess. You can guess. You can guess that this is white, but we're gonna spice it up and we're gonna say that this is Arctic Wolf, although it is actually going to be called white. So that was around 96 crayons. Here's the box. Here's our pinks and purples and browns. Here's our blues and purples. Here is our greens and blues. Put this all back in here. Here is our oranges, yellows, and greens. And lastly, our reds, oranges, and pinkish purples. This was actually the 96 count. I have a 120 count, but we're not going to do that. That's just too much. This video is already long enough. You should be asleep by now. If you're not, go to sleep, please. Close your eyes. But this is what we have. All these crayons. Wow. So pretty, so cool. I hope you have a very good night. I have to go to sleep as well, so I have to go ahead and brush my teeth and wipe off all this makeup and do all that. But I have work tomorrow. You may also have work tomorrow. You may have school tomorrow. Either way, whether you do or do not, you need good sleep because you deserve it. So once this video is done and you're not already asleep, close off your eyes. Close off your eyes. Close down your phone. Put it on the charger. Make sure it's on the charger. Do that. Close your eyes. Fluff your pillow if you need to. Put your covers on you. Make sure they're covering you really well. Keep warm, keep cool, whatever you need to do. I like to keep myself warm. And have yourself